have a question. What is your favorite song and how do you connect with it? Is it when you fell in love or through something really difficult? I'm your host, Tiffany Mason. Now join me as I interview others and we take a walk down memory lane with them. Let's get lost in why that music matters to them. Turn up your radio and let's explore Memories with a Beat. Hello, Podcast Land. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Memories with a Beat. And today I have with me Lynne Marion, and she's going to talk about something that I don't really know a whole lot about, but I've definitely heard of it, and my curiosity is definitely piqued. So I'm looking forward to speaking with Lynne, and she's actually going to share a different type of song with us. Guys, there's no words. I don't know how I feel about this. So we're going to see how it goes. I know that there are a lot of people that like music just for the sound of it or the way it makes them feel. And I know also that the song that she's chosen is also for meditation. And meditation is something that I have recently started exploring. And it's the one thing that I do where I feel different. I take supplements, I work out, I've started eating better. And none of it really feels any different. But when I meditate, I feel different. And so it's a little bit more rewarding when I meditate. So let's dive into it. Lynne, welcome to my podcast. Let my audience know a little bit about yourself. Where are you? What you do? And then we'll get into your song that you've chosen.
Well, thank you, Tiffany. Hi, everyone. My name is Lynne Marion. I'm an intuitive life coach. I'm also a heartfulness meditation trainer and an Akaushik Records teacher and practitioner. And I'm currently living in Eastern Canada, the province of Quebec, the French part, which is my native tongue. And I'm also a digital nomad. So I've lived and worked in many countries. I've been stationed here for the past 2 years because we weren't really allowed to travel. But I'm really, really aching to use my passport again. And yeah, I'm very, very happy to be here with you today. And yes, you said you don't know how you feel about using music that has no words. I love that. Love that. So, yes.
Okay. Yeah, I think it will be very interesting for sure. When you said that you've been stationed in Quebec, is it through military or is it job or what's the story?
Okay. Yes. Sorry. No. So maybe that's a French word that
Okay.
I just translated in English, but no, no, no. So I can work anywhere in the world
Yep.
as long as it's online. So my clients are global. Like you can be anywhere in the world.
Yep.
And it's very easy. I have this online calendar that just converts the time zone.
Oh, yeah.
So no, because my family's here, my friends are here.
Oh,
This is my home base in the world.
yep.
I sort of go away and then come back. But because of pandemic, it was just smarter and more fun to just come back.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I could see that for sure, especially not knowing how it was going to affect your family. I've coined a term nervousing. And so now I almost don't even know how to use the word nervous. So I would say it's very nervousing that you didn't know. There were a lot of uncertainties. Maybe I should say that. Where is the favorite place that you have traveled to, Lynne?
Oh, that's an excellent question. So I have different favorite places for different things.
Sure.
I would say South Africa for its diversity. It has nature, it has culture, it has excellent food. It's just absolutely beautiful and an amazing vibe.
Yeah. It's just well rounded.
It's well rounded and especially near the
Mm.
water, like the entire coast from east to west. And if not, I truly, truly loved Bali.
Hmm.
For yoga, for meeting international like minded souls. And I also travel to India solely for heartfulness meditation retreats. I go there for 1 month, for
Oh,
30 days, I meditate. Yes.
wow.
And it's just absolutely blissful and magical.
Wow. How did you learn that they did that?
So, through my heartfulness meditation practice,
Uh huh.
this is a global practice around the world. By the way, anyone interested, it's always free of charge, which I absolutely love. And so they have different centers in the world.
Wait, the 30-day meditation is free of charge?
It is free of charge. You only give whatever you can contribute. Yes.
Okay, interesting. Wow. Okay, keep going.
Yes, so you're welcome there. Like they have these amazing vegetarian meals and you can sleep there. It's a dormitory style. You can have your private room if you wish, but then there are like fees to pay for those.
Uh-huh.
But yes, so that's how I learned about it. I've traveled to different heartfulness centers, met with amazing people. I've done sort of like the been welcomed into their homes as well. Yeah, it's just been really, really amazing. And I also love my own country, Canada, for its nature and every activity you could possibly do.
Yeah, wow. Now you said Quebec is east?
Yes,
Yes. Isn't that where a lot of films are filmed?
absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Because Montreal is one of the main cities of the province of Quebec.
Okay.
And there was absolutely a lot of
Right.
movies going on there being filmed and a lot of celebrities coming, and they would love Montreal because it has a lot to offer and it's not as populated as, let's say, New York City or London, England, or things like that. But yet it's still a very, very vibrant it used to be very vibrant and culturally fun,
Yeah,
but now, like, it's so different as is the rest of the world, but yes.
correct. Yeah. Interesting. I always thought like, yes, in some of the movies it'd be so beautiful, but most recently I looked up Virgin River. I don't know if you've
Yes.
caught this show. And
Yes.
I was like, you never know if it's a fictional place or a true place. So I was like, well, maybe it's real. I don't know. And no, it's shot in Canada.
Yes.
But it's absolutely beautiful. I mean, just all the footage of that show.
Yes.
Yes, yes. Well, I'm glad that you had a lot of good outdoor space for the pandemic to just kind of, get out and explore. Can you share how meditation maybe helped you through the pandemic?
Yes,
Did you end up sharing it with your family, friends? How did you, spread the word or what did you do with it?
absolutely. So I can say 100% that heartfulness meditation truly, truly just uplifted me and sort of supported me throughout the pandemic.
Yeah.
I do a daily practice. We also can join group meditations, and they've all been moved to virtual.
Okay.
So either through YouTube or Zoom, and we would all meet, and everyone would just feel so uplifted because what happens is that it brings you right back to the present moment and connected to your true essence.
Mhm.
And so, whatever chaos or noise or anything happening outside of you is really not present when you're connecting within.
Mhm. Yeah.
And so that was truly, truly amazing because even people, when they would talk to me, they're like, wow, you're happy, you're joyful. Thank you. And I really was. I'm not making this.
Yeah.
So it was just so beautiful. And yes, as a heartfulness trainer, of course, I can introduce anyone and we can meditate together. But yes, anyone that was interested in my networks or circles, they could totally meditate. And yes, very often people love to just stop everything, just go within, breathe.
Yes, yes, it's so refreshing. It really is. And I've heard that anxiety is anticipation. And so your brain gets going and you're thinking so far in the future. And that's the beautiful thing about meditation is it brings you back to you, back to that calm breathing, back to that, safe space of yourself. And it's really been transformational for me as well. So I'm really thankful that there are people like you out there that are sharing it with people like me that don't know the benefits or don't know how to do it. And you guys are sharing it with me. I am a podcast producer and one of the podcasts that I produce, she also does meditation. She's developed a VR set that goes on your face and it will help you to visualize your goals and dreams through meditation, though. There's like guided meditation and then like regular meditation. And she was saying some people just cannot visualize. And so, for those few folks that can't visualize, that helps them. But personally, one of the things I love the most about meditation is it's like that screensaver where like the colors are like melding into each other, whooshing over. I love the whole experience. I don't know if I would want visual, but some people just can't. Like my husband, he would probably need it because he can't get there. So, I understand. And it's like I tell my kids, that's the reason there's so many paint colors. There's something for everybody.
There really is. I love what you just said though, but I'd just like to add I started meditating, which I never thought I'd do in 2011,
Hmm.
and I've been meditating ever since. That's 11 years now. And all I can say is that wherever you are at today, yes, you are there, but don't worry because tomorrow you never know what can happen.
Mhm.
So even if today someone might have difficulty visualizing, and that's fine. And also, every meditation practice can be unique and different. So it doesn't mean that every single meditation practice is the same. But yes, if someone is stopping themselves because they say, I can't do that, then don't worry. Like, just
Mhm.
do or be whatever you can now and see.
Yeah.
And maybe because I found like things can develop, unfold, and you're just amazed.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I never thought I could sit for 1 hour in silence and not wanna be somewhere else. Like, that was unthinkable to me, and it happened. It didn't happen overnight, but over time, and now it's just so easy.
Yeah. Well, I set a timer for 14 minutes, I think it was. And then I have a playlist. And so the playlist was going and I was meditating. And then, really, just now I know, but right at the very, very end, I was starting to kind of get itchy, and I was like, okay, I think I've searched my soul. I think I've, done my breathing and everything. Cause I usually do it right before I'm going to work. And so I do kind of get a little bit antsy to get to my work. So I was like, okay, I think I'm going to be done. And then I added it up, and I had been doing it for like 18 minutes because I forgot to set the timer.
Love it. Love it.
So I'm the same where I never thought I could sit for 18 minutes and just breathe and meditate.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. And I was like, well, no wonder I was getting itchy because it was 4 minutes past what I even expected to do. But that's pretty impressive, I thought, to like get yourself you're so into it that 4 minutes have passed and you're still totally in it. Seriously love it. Very transformational.
Yes.
Do you do Akashic Records? Yes. Okay. So I've definitely heard this term before, but I'm rusty. Likely somebody in my audience is rusty on this term. So if you wouldn't mind, can you expand a little bit on Akashic Records? And then also, part B, did you say that you create them or you have them for clients? What does that mean exactly?
Okay, so yes, the Akashic Records, not everyone knows about this term. So they are actually infinite, firstly, and I always find it challenging to explain something infinite, but the Akashic Records are the archives of your soul and its journey throughout time.
Okay.
So it's sort of the hard drive of everything your soul has lived and is recorded in your Akashic Records.
Oh,
Can you imagine?
gosh.
It's unbelievable. So every thought, emotion,
No.
experience is just recorded there. And that is like recording what has been and what is, but also apparently there are the future possibilities. So the Akashic records are continuously and infinitely expanding depending on what you're doing.
Wow.
Yes.
That is hard to comprehend. Okay. Okay.
But it is truly amazing. It's highly, highly useful because I really, really love them when you can have a soul perspective of what's going on at a human
Mm.
level. So let's say we can all have patterns,
Mhm.
right? And sometimes we're just like going absolutely crazy. Let's say someone keeps attracting jealous people over and
Mm.
over and over again. They're like, what did I do? What's going on? But then, if you access the Akashic Records and ask, what is going on? Why am I living this? What do I need to learn?
Mhm.
And then your perspective can completely
Mm.
shift. And then everything is happening for a reason. And sometimes at a human level or mind level, we don't necessarily
Mhm.
understand. So your Akashic records can truly illuminate and give you insight on what's going on and how best to sort of harmonize this or move on.
Wow.
And it can also give you insight if you're a creative
Mhm.
person. You can gain a lot of inspiration. For example, as an intuitive life coach, I'll ask, okay, what can I create now for the highest good of all?
Mm.
And so I love it. Even a workshop, a theme, it could be a podcast episode, it
Yeah.
could be anything and everything. And you can ask about relationships are highly, highly popular
Uh-huh.
topic. So you can ask about, as a parent with your children, if you're living certain situations or challenges, or you'd like inspiration on how to better continue X, Y, and Z. Could be a love relationship, it could be colleagues, it could be you versus a group. It's just infinite, infinite. Even animals have an Akashic record. Nature, like trees, the ocean, cities, your office, your organization, everything.
Wow. Interesting. I feel like when I started Virtually You, I had no idea that there was like this whole world going on online, right? And now that I'm online, I have met enough people that I didn't realize there's this whole, I don't know if I want to say like spiritual battle or spiritual exploration
Mm.
or yeah, like just a whole nother world. I thought like everyday living was one world, and then there's the corporate world, and then there's the online world, and now there's the world.
Cosmic.
I keep learning about layers and layers, and it's so interesting, and how people discover them, and then like yourself specialize in them and help others through them. So how do you access somebody's Akashic record?
Okay, great question. So, with the person's permission, then I use a sacred prayer.
Mm-hmm.
And this opens your Akashic record. So I'm acting as a channel. So let's say I was a telephone, then the prayer would dial the number and we're calling your Akashic records and they will just download the messages through me. And so I share whatever I receive with you.
Wow. Oh my goodness. I did an interview last night and I felt like my brain kept exploding, but I don't know. I might be having equally as many explosions right now. I've been doing so many interviews lately. I'm not going to have any brain left because of all the explosions.
Your consciousness is being
Yeah.
expanded. That's what's happening.
Oh my
Yes,
gosh.
because we can tap into something new, tap into something new, and then it just expands, expands, expands. And maybe that is one of the purposes you're called to do this Virtually You podcast.
Mm.
You're expanding your consciousness, but it's happening in a very natural way without you signing up for a one on one
Yeah.
session or like saying, this is what I
Yeah.
want. So life is bringing it in a way. And what I love also about the Akashic Records you're reminding me is that it's a very beautiful channeling. Like it's just very beautiful, whereas it meets the person where you are at
Mm.
and it knows exactly it's unique to you. There's a whole team of light beings just working for
Hmm.
you. So they know exactly how to deliver that message and what you're living and what you've been through, what you're going through. So that I truly love because it's highly unique and specific to you.
Hmm.
Over and over, people have told me, wow, that is so soothing. Oh, I understand so much better. Thank you for the
Oh,
clarity.
yeah.
Because often when we're confused, then we sort of get stuck.
Hmm.
It's like the energy cancel, just like a traffic jam. We can't move anymore.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, poof, clarity comes, the flow comes in, and bam, we're good to go.
Oh, wow. That must be so rewarding for you.
I just loved it all the time. I have no expectation,
Yeah.
and I find that's where the magic happens. It's like this amazing magical land. Like, what's gonna happen? I have no idea, and then poof, it just
Yeah.
unfolds.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, well, I think that brings us to your song that you've chosen
Yeah.
because I think that you use it as a magical way for yourself. So tell me what your song is and then how it affects you, where it transports you to, or the benefit that you receive from this song with no words.
Okay, I love this. Yes, so I discovered angelic music. I think it was in 2020 or 2019, and
Okay.
I have just been really hooked on it. So the particular song that I mentioned, the title that is given on YouTube is Angelic Music 432 Hertz Healing Music 111 Spiritual Awakening, and it's by Music for Body and Spirit. And what happens is that every time I wish to be in my zone, as I say, when I'm writing something or reading something and I want to be very highly focused, then I put this music on and it is truly, truly amazing. So it allows me to truly focus, to really receive inspirations, and it's as though everything calms down outside of me
Mm.
and then everything that needs to become activated within me becomes activated.
It sounds like awake meditation.
Almost, yes, because I'm not with my eyes closed and I'm actually like focusing. So I'm working
Mm-hmm.
when I need to get things done. If I'm writing a blog article, if I want to read a certain book, which is on self development. Yeah, if I'm just writing generally or creating, and it's just amazing. And I get so much done within 1 hour.
Mm. Is there a correlation, do you know, like with babies, you're supposed to play like classical music? Is there any science that you know behind playing like meditation music while you're trying to focus? Because it almost sounds like it's helping you to tunnel vision into whatever you're doing. And maybe you're just so good at being present and meditating and focusing on the thing that you're supposed to be focusing on. But do you know, is there any science that backs that up?
Yes, so I just briefly looked up because I'm no scientific expert, but yes, so they definitely have tons and tons of studies and research on it. Maybe not like just angelic music specifically, but what I did find out is that music can literally reduce your heart rate, lower your blood pressure. It actually can decrease cortisol, which is the stress hormone levels, and it can increase your serotonin and your endorphin levels in the blood. It
Mm,
actually allows your blood to circulate better, and music can boost the brain's production of the hormone dopamine.
interesting.
So, this dopamine is going to help relieve you from feelings of anxiety or depression if you have any.
Yeah.
And so, it plays on your mood, your emotions, like it's more uplifting.
Mhm.
And just by listening to music, I find, especially without words, like this type of angelic music, it also can trigger biochemical stress reducers, they say. So honestly, I feel like it just clears away anything that can block you from connecting to your inner concentration or creativity inspiration.
Yeah.
And this applies like, yes, I do meditate, but I've done this. I've organized some soul envisioning workshops in the
Okay.
past with participants, and my participants didn't necessarily meditate on a regular basis or not at all. And I would put this music, and they all would say the same things because I would
Oh,
have a prompt, like a soul prompt,
sure.
like soul inquiry prompt, and then they would answer, and I'd put this music, and everyone I could feel they were in the flow.
Oh, wow. I also wonder if when people are listening to music without words, maybe the benefit is there's not a story that they're focusing on, because that's what I love so much about the words is the story.
Yes.
So maybe they're not focusing on this story, or also maybe it's not triggering any emotion, right? It's very zen music to begin with, but it's not like upbeat, so it's not making them want to like dance. It's not telling a sad story about a dog or a relationship or losing a parent. It's not telling a story about being at the bar and drinking. It's not bringing up any negative emotions, right? Somebody is allowed to focus on the task at hand. Okay, so this is what it's making me think of. I got to interrupt myself. When I get on the airplane, I take my little Xanax because I have flight anxiety. And I don't know how it got on my playlist, but there's this song by Pink. And how does it start? What is it called? About You, Alone with You. It's something with an A because it's the first song in my playlist, right? And I'll tell you what, I feel like it was such a signal to my body. Every time I would hear that song, I'd be like, okay, we're calming down and we're going to sleep. And I would just like zone out and be asleep for 3 hours and we would wake up, right? Part of that is the drug Xanax, right? And part of that, I think, really truly was a signal to my brain. So I wonder if the first time they hear this song and you give them the soul prompt and they answer the question and they feel so productive. And then the next time that song comes on, it's a cue to the brain. Okay, now we're going to be really productive. I wonder if there is something to be said for that as far as a mindset that the song puts you into. And now that you've used it so many times for this focusing and really being productive, I wonder if there's a signal to the brain that says, okay, this is our song where we are crazy productive.
Oh, yes. I believe that if you put a song, any song on repeat, then yes, it can build. And yes, you're going to create a network of neurons in your brain, and it's going to say, okay, guys,
Yeah.
here's the song. And that's like the domino effect of tick, 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 and then
Yeah.
we're productive or we're concentrated or we're focused.
Yeah.
Yes, people associate a lot of songs with many different kinds of behaviors, or just like if you go to the gym, you're gonna pump yourself
Right.
up. You want, like, you're not gonna start listening to like this Zen violin or something,
No.
because then your workout's gonna go.
Mhm.
But yes, absolutely. But I never told any of my participants, like, this is to be productive. I would just very silently put the music so that
Yeah.
allows to create a zone of let's reflect together and let's
Yeah.
see what comes up. But I've also heard some participants thank me so much for making them discover that type of music because now that is what they play to feel calm while they have to work.
Well, I wonder if I will do this because sometimes I do want to put music on, but I don't want to get wrapped up in the story. And I can't help myself. I just have to sing along or I have to pay attention to the story. I love it so much. So, this would be a great way to still have music on. Some people tell me that they listen to a podcast while they work, and I'm like, I don't know how they get anything done. I wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah, I know.
I know I wouldn't be able to grasp anything from the podcast. I wouldn't do my work
Mhm.
effectively, and I'd have crap left over, especially my work because my work is listening to podcasts and taking out imperfections. So, that really wouldn't work.
No, that would not.
But when I'm doing the other aspects, yeah, super, super crazy. Wow, I'm so intrigued. That is so amazing. Well, you guys know this will be in the show notes, so fear not. And I've got all kinds of contact information for Lynne, so you guys will be able to reach out to her too. Lynne, is there anything more you wanted to share about this song and how it affects you and your work with your clients?
Yeah, so I would just suggest to anyone, like if you've never tried it, like you, Tiffany, or anyone else, you can Google angelic music, you can Google rejuvenation music, but just allow yourself to experience without having anything else in mind. Even if you just want to be alone, just play it and see how your body and being responds.
Well, and I also think what you said is going into it with no expectations.
Yes.
Let it happen how it's going to happen. Let there be a flow to it. Be open and just play the music and let Lynn and I know how it goes.
Yes.
What are you going to say?
Yes, just see how your body and being responds to that. And
Yeah.
sometimes your body will respond to, the sounds of a gong
Oh,
or like
yes.
shamanic music.
Hmm.
I don't vibrate to that, but some people they do, and your body will just want more and more. Like you'll recognize. So allow yourself
Yeah.
to like tune into different rhythms. And rhythms have
Mm.
existed since the beginning of time. Sounds are very, very primordial to our existence.
Yes. Great word. Yes.
And so allow yourself to experience them in different ways. And sometimes no words is the best way as well, because as you said, it's not going to activate that part of your brain that's trying to interpret.
Right.
To me, there is no interpretation going on with this angelic music. It's more of a fine tuning of myself. Yeah.
I completely agree with that. Lynn, thank you so much for your time today. And thank you so much for everything you've shared with us. Oh my gosh. I'm going to have to go back and listen to this episode.
I love it. It was such a pleasure. If anyone wants to know any more about the Akaushik Records or would like a session and to explore, I'm more than happy to welcome you. And thank you, Tiffany. And I'm so happy you're expanding your consciousness. And let me know how it goes when you
Yes.
listen to that.
Yes, I absolutely will. I absolutely will. Well, again, everything will be in the show notes, podcast land. I hope this episode was music to your ears. Well, that was fun, wasn't it? You never know what rabbit holes we'll get to go down and explore. Were you reminded of anything? Or anyone? Share what it was with me in a review. Honestly, the reviews don't do me any favors other than knowing people like you are listening to this podcast. Insert cheesy wink. However, the ratings do help, so leave me 5 stars. You know you wanna. This podcast was produced by Virtual You, supporting you in all things podcasting. To connect or check me out on social media, I know you're just gonna stalk me. But see the show notes, as always, for details. Can't wait to dive into my next guest's memories with a beat. Hit subscribe now. You don't want to miss the next episode.